Well, it doesn't seem to matter who the Aggies put in that front seven. They seem to always, with this coaching staff, find a way to stop the run pretty much against any opponents they play, but especially that linebacker crew. Talking to Coach Gaskamp before the game, he knows that that is the strength of their defense, where they may be a little young is in the defensive backfield, and we'll see how that goes today. They'll have to make some adjustments, and I'm sure being a first game, as he mentioned, you try to avoid the big mistakes that might cost you a game or anything like that, but there's going to be mistakes made on the first day. Of course, one of the other things we'll be looking at on the offensive side is just one returning starter for the offense on the offensive line. And when you go to the skill positions, everybody's back. Not just the starters, but also the guys who are going to come in the 2
Aside from the veteran savviness of the defensive side, the offensive side, I'm also excited. You have Brandon Ramon at quarterback, got some playing time last year, was not the starter to start the season out, but came into that role, and I've heard good things about him in practice, and I'm excited to see him play. I'm extremely excited to see Orlando Heyman play again, and he had a great year last year. As Coach Gaskamp said before the game, he's excited to have that veteran running back in there, first team all-conference last year, and he's right there. I think it's going to be a challenge for the young offensive line to get him going, but I think they're prepared enough for Orlando Heyman to go through there and give him a nice hole for him to run through.
Well, and Heyman, he really is the straw that stirs the drink on offense for the Aggies. He had a great season. He was the focal part of their offense last year. It'll be a little different this year. The Aggies are going to look to play a little more up-tempo than last year. First action as a kicker, football. And here we go, and the Aggies 2018 season is off. Nice kick right to the goal line. Up to the 10, the 15, the 20, still on his feet, tripped up, and finally brought down past the 30-yard line, though. As Matina getting hit on the tackle as well. We'll give you the starting lineup for the defense first. On the defensive line at nose guard, a 6'3", 250-pound senior from Boyd, Texas, number 94, Sequoia Smith. At defensive end, a 6', 245-pound junior from Tecumseh, Oklahoma, number 44, Jasper Smiley, and also a 5'11", 265-pound freshman, number 50, Keelan Gardner. Handoff up the middle, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. And who else but the linebacker crew? Darian Primes, a 5'11", 210-pound senior from Houston, Texas.
I tell you, Primes he's lean and he is fast and he is a mean guy. He's going to get in there, he's going to rough you up a bit, and his speed so underrated. But my goodness, does it help so much on that defensive side.
Shotgun formation. Looks outside quickly, a roll to his right, under pressure, lets it go in the middle. And a hand in there to block that one away. One of the new starters, a 6', 185-pound junior from New Orleans, number 21, Troy Joseph. Starting at corner, the other corner, a 6', 185-pound redshirt freshman from Jackson, Mississippi, number 31, Lasimba Young. It's going to be third down and 12 yards to go for the Hastings Broncos. Drops back to pass. Good time, throws it out in the flat, up to the 40-yard line, but he's going to be knocked out of bounds before he can get to the 45. So the Aggies with the stop, it's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, it's good closing speed right there by Jawan Purefoy, not letting Willingham get outside. Initially, just a little jump route right there, swing route, trying to get a third down conversion, but the speed of that linebacker crew, like we were talking about, is there to swallow it up.
Back deep for the Aggies is number 19, Kevin Carter, catches it to 25 on the run. He's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line. And with 13:30 still left to play in this first quarter, the Aggies offense will be on the field for the first time. Starting offense, that quarterback, a 6', 205-pound senior from San Antonio, Texas, number 12. Brandon Ramon. At running back, quarterback, a 5'11", 195-pound senior from Vernon, Texas. Number 22, Orlando Heyman. At wide receiver, a 6 foot, 185-pound senior from Sandy, Utah. Number 4, Nick West. Also, number 1, Miguel Hudson. And also number 11, Jake Martinez in the slot. Ramon wheels out, throws it into the flat. And that was number 8, Jalen Fair with the catch. Was not listed as a starter, but started on offense. So nice gain on first down of about 6 yards. So second down, 4 yards to go for the Aggies.
Yeah, Brandon Ramon completed 63% of his passes last year, 7 touchdowns, over 540 yards.
Handoff up the middle, ball came loose, and it looks like Hastings has it.
Yeah, mistake right there, obviously, for the Aggies. And not a great start for them on this rushing attack. And I understand that the beginning of the season, first game of the season, got to work out some kinks. Hopefully we're not seeing much of that today, as that rushing attack, like we said, is going to be crucial for the Aggies to get going on offense. Even though passing-wise, Brandon Ramon is stellar, in my opinion, but I do believe that they're going to have to get some ground on the running game big time. Livingston in the shotgun and the pistol, hands it off to Willingham, cuts through a hole. Nice little move, gets to the outside, and brought down quickly right there by number 24, that's Reese Peterson. A 6 foot, 195-pound sophomore out of Manville, Texas, Manville High School.
Looks like we've got an injury on the field. One of the Hastings players still down on the ground. So timeout on the field with 12:53 left to play in the first quarter. Still no score. And that's actually one of the Aggies. That's Reese Peterson, number 24. He's a 6 foot, 195-pound sophomore, injured on the play. As mentioned earlier, from Manville, Texas, having to be helped off the field, not able to put a lot of pressure on that left foot. And back to the game, 1st and 10 for Hastings at the Aggies' 32-yard line after a fumble recovery. Gave them good field position. Quarterback drops back to pass, throws it over. It's caught, still loose at the 25, fighting forward near the 20-yard line. Several Aggies there to help out as they first man couldn't get him down.
Yeah, that right there was Jordan Johnson. He's a 6'1", 190-pound senior. A big body coming across the middle, and he just bodied it up and threw himself close to the first down mark. They're inches away from first down now. What a good throw by Clark Livingston.
First, we've heard about the running backs for the Broncos. Good stop up front, good push inside. That was Jasper Smiley in on that tackle. Kind of the first man in. Was enough for a first down, so 1st and 10 at the Aggies' 21-yard line.
Yeah, the fumble put them in a bind. Now the defense got to step up.
Option to the right, pitch to the running back, cuts inside, and does not reach the 20-yard line. Leeds head on the tackle, and he was helped out by Daquan Charles as well. So it'll be second down, about 9.5 to go.
And Leafhead last year led the Aggies in tackles along with Javon Purifoy, and them two together, like we said, that linebacking unit is something to look for. They're veteran savvy and they are strong.
Back to pass. Lets one go towards the sideline, too far out of bounds. That's going to be incomplete, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Broncos. Good coverage out there, so even if the ball was on target, probably wouldn't have been caught. It was probably best that he did throw it away for the Broncos' sake.
Yeah, like I always always say, sometimes the best thing is to do absolutely nothing.
So 2 splits to each side. Taj Willingham, the running back, to his left, drops back to pass. Plenty of time. Now he's under pressure. He's going to be dropped for a sack at the 23-yard line. And that's going to make it 4th down, so we're probably going to see the field goal unit.
Yeah, I saw Horace Lewis get in there. That is a big boy at 6'1", 290. One of the defensive ends for the Aggies, and looks like they're going to hold him to at least a field goal right here.
Well, the kicker's name and number that was given do not match, so I'm not sure who this is. Kick, snap, and it is no good. Way wide. And it'll be the Aggies' ball for the second time with 10:20 left to play in the first quarter.
I tell you what, that's one of the home field advantages of playing here in the Panhandle. With really any outdoor sport that we have here, the wind is just something that you don't see anywhere else. Anywhere else, especially not only in our conference, but anywhere else in the country. Wind all over the place. It changes every 2 minutes, it seems like, and it is strong, strong, strong.
So Ramon in the shotgun, trips to the right of the formation. He'll look back to the left. Oh, that one almost intercepted. Number 7 got his hands on that. That's Josh Stansel. The free safety. It was tipped up. They almost got it on the tip even. Almost an Oski play there, but the ball falls harmlessly to the turf. The Aggies are happy to have a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Stansel sneaking by right there. Just getting
throws it out in the flat. Heyman able to grab that one in. Looked like that one dropped to the ground, but apparently was able to catch that.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened from here. I thought it hit the ground and bounced right back into his hands. Apparently not.
Referees may discuss it. No, they'll mark it up. So he did gain a few yards on that one, about 3 yards. So it'll make it 3rd and about 7 yards for the Aggies.
You can see the coach over there for the Hastings arguing. He's visibly upset right there. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't see that one either. But you know what? 4 yards right there.
Mo in the shotgun, fakes the handoff. He under pressure, lets it go. Tried to get it to Martinez, but the ball was too high. And it's going to be a 3 and out for the Aggies, and the punt team will come onto the field.
Yeah, Ramon had Brady Barrett over there on the right sideline, wide open. Nobody around, no Bronco anywhere close. Overthrows a receiver. I guess he just didn't see him blended in over there with the sideline.
So a couple of freshmen will be important, seeing their first collegiate action. First, the long snapper, number 71, Zach Pierce, and also the punter, a freshman, number 91, Eduardo Villarreal. And everything goes off well. Nice punt. Ball caught inside the 30-yard line. Avoids a couple of tacklers. Still on his feet at the 40. The 45 spins loose. And he's finally knocked out of bounds right near midfield. So great field position for Hastings. With 9:18 still to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's Anthony Murray from the Broncos, just weaving and weaving through all of the Aggies. Picked up those extra yards. Looks like we got a couple flags on the field, though.
This one is going to be marched back. That penalty at the 39. Well, not sure what the call was, as the referee's mic wasn't working too well. Well, it looks like they marked off 10 there. We'll say probably a holding call.
Yeah, it looked like the referee signaled for a holding call. There were 2 flags, so I think there might have been 2 calls right there.
You know, you can argue one flag, but when 2 guys throw it, there's not a whole lot of arguing left. So, too many witnesses to the crime. 2 receivers split to the wide side, 1 back to the shallow side. Pistol formation. Keeps it, throws it out wide into the flat, avoids the first tackler, and knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Coming up to make that tackle was Charles. But a nice first down gain as he got picked up 7 on that one.
Yeah, DeQuantin Charles read that perfectly. The free safety on the opposite end of the field comes all the way across and knocks his man out of bounds over there. Great closing speed.
Jordan Johnson with that catch. 2nd and 3 under pressure, throws in a flat, lots of room to run. He's back up to midfield, the 40, cuts inside and falls forward near the 30-yard line as there was just nobody on the backside in the flats. Plenty of room to run before he was ever touched. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Broncos at the Aggie 31-yard line.
Yeah, pinched up right there with that front 7. Nobody on the running back, and Naismith gets a lot of room, and that guy, he's a fast guy as he gets down the field, those long legs, 6'1".
Now, one of the things that Coach Gaskamp said is their top 2 running backs are not good, they're great. And Naismith is one of those. He's going to be dropped for a loss this time. The Aggies defense was in there in a hurry. And I think once again, it was Smiley taking the short edge, getting back there. Of course, you've got to be careful on that. A team can come back with a different play that fake that handoff inside and that quarterback options outside.
Yeah,
that's going to leave the Aggies in trouble, so you do leave yourself vulnerable. 2nd down, 11 yards to go. Quarterback drops back to pass out in the flat to Naismith, up to the 30, the 25, the 20-yard line, and powers his way down to the 19-yard line. So another 1st down as they move closer and deeper into Aggie territory.
Yeah, D'Angelo fights with a big hit right there, but not before he got the 1st down. Again, here in the red zone are the Broncos, and another big defensive stand has to take place for the Aggies to come out alive on this one.
Paul Hernandez comes in for Dadarian Primes, as it looked like Dadarian was a little shook up. Quarterback out in the flat, pass too high, out of bounds. 2nd down and 10 as that one looked like it went forward just a little bit, so.
Yeah, and DeQuan Charles had good closing speed again, as I said earlier on that tackle. I think it would have been stopped up anyway if the ball didn't sail over his head. Just a little too much on the ball right there for Livingston, and he doesn't look exactly perfect in his form so far, overthrowing a couple receivers.
And they'll option to the short side. Nobody out there for the running back. And he's into the corner of the end zone for they'll mark him shy. Looks like he stepped out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good play right there, keeping out of the end zone.
Taj Willingham, so 1st and goal from the 1 for the Broncos.
I think it was Zurio Cook who got in there and stopped him right before he got to the end zone, him and Lasimba Young. It's a good play now, a strong defensive stand by this front unit.
Tailback. They may have rushed that play as referees may have not been set yet. No, they'll call a false start. Well, that's going to move them back and give these Aggies a better shot of shutting them out here.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Gaskamp's going to send in a fresh 3 on the defensive line, trying to stop the Broncos from getting in.
So tight-eye formation, hands it off to the tailback straight up the middle, breaks through a tackle, falls forward, and he's down to about the 2-yard line, because that was Willingham again.
Willingham with the carry on the shot for the Aggies punt.
We'll have to see. It looks like they're going to mark him short of the goal line. Woo-hoo. And the Aggies at least hold till 3rd down.
Well, 2 down, 1 to go. See if they can get it to a 4th down right here. After 2 great defensive stands, that line's held them.
They're piling in and they're selling out. Quarterback leans forward. And they'll say he did get in this time. So Clark Livingston sneaks that one in, but Aggies did make them earn it once they got down there.
Now the Aggie penalty. Be fourth down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason, it's going to take more than one touchdown to win this game, so the Aggies going to have to score anyway. So let's see if they can do so in this next drive.
I guess this kicker is number 14, Alex Stodgel. And the kick is good for the extra point. So with 5:58 left to play in the first quarter, it's Hastings 7, good OPSU 0. So kicking off will be Aiden Barushka. And there's the kick, running up, catching it at the 20, up to the 25, the 30, up to the 40, and down at about midfield. That is going to be Kevin Carter with a fantastic return to give the Aggies excellent field position to start this drive right at the midfield stripe.
Yeah, the junior from Toledo, Ohio comes in and burns them. Gets all the way to the 50-yard line. Great field position, starting field position for the Aggies. And it gives them a chance to get right back in this game.
All the way from Toledo, Ohio. That may be the first player I've seen for the Aggies from the state of Ohio.
Yeah, you don't get many of the Midwest coming down to the panhandle of Oklahoma, but on that play, we're sure glad he did, made that trip.
Big handoff up the middle to Heyman. Still on his feet, fighting forward. Great run there. Picks up 7 or 8. Looks like they'll mark him down at about the 42-yard line. And they'll move it back to the 43. So 3 yards to go. Aggies quickly to the line. They want to move quickly. Coach Gaskamp said they want to run about 90 plays today. Snap to Ramon. Lets it go outside. And that one knocked away as he tried to get it to his senior wide receiver, Nick West.
Yeah, that's Anthony Murray again, getting his hands in there, giving Nick West a hard time to make a comfortable catch. And that's just a great play right there by a senior.
So 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Hands off to Heyman, cuts back up the middle. He's got the first down all the way up to the 35, 36-yard line.
Yeah, Orlando averaged over 6 yards a carry last season with 6 touchdowns. And these last 2 runs have been spectacular right for the Aggies. And hopefully that'll get them going right here with the run game.
Quickly to the line again. Ramon back to pass. Steps up into the pocket, lets one go over the middle, but through the hands of Seth Barbarino, a 5'11", 160-pound sophomore from down in Amarillo.
Brings up 2nd down and out the 36 for the Aggies.
That may have been the tight end Brady Barrett, though. He wears 86, 85 and 86. Couldn't tell for sure.
I think
Up to Heyman. And he's going to be stopped after just a short gain. Does get the ball across the 35-yard line, but it's going to be 3rd and long for the Aggies.
Yeah, the test for this game offensively, I think, would be how this young offensive line fares in today's game. If they get tired easily, if they need breathers, if they're able to keep their legs under them and support this run game, and keep Brandon Ramon from getting knocked around back there too.
So 2 backs in the backfield with Ramon. Drops back to pass. Dumps it off to one of his running backs, up to the 30, to the 29-yard line, and that was R.J. Stevens, a 6-foot, 220-pound redshirt freshman. And it's going to be 4th down for the Aggies inside the 30, so probably going to go for it. They probably looked at that play as a 4-down territory anyway if they didn't get it.
Yeah, I thought so too, and I think it's a good time to make a statement early for the Aggies. Try to put it right into Hastings with a good little 4th down play right here.
2 splits to each side. Ramon looks to his right, lets one go towards the corner of the end zone, and that one just a little too strong and out of bounds. So the ball turned over on downs, back to the Broncos with 3:54 left to play. Here in the first quarter, it's Panhandle State 0, Hastings 7. So the Aggies defense back out on the field. Gave up a first touchdown of the season on that first drive. Handoff up the middle, and that one is plugged. Fights forward past the 30 to the 31. He drug Sequoia Smith, the nose tackle, for a few yards, but 2nd down, 8 yards to go.
Yeah, Prime's got in the backfield right there, helped him out. Knocked him down, and like I said, that speed of the Darren Primes, again in the backfield, disrupting plays. A little more of that from the Aggies, and I think they'll be good on defense trying to keep this run game in check.
An option to the wide side, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Good defense there by the Aggie defense. That was Adrian Johnson who came up in his linebacker position to make that play. So 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Seeing some big lightning strikes off in the distance. Got a flag on the play. Quarterback still loose. Drops the ball.
It.
And it looks like the Aggies may have it. Let's hope that penalty is not on the Aggies here.
Yeah, to me it looked like a holding call, but we'll see right here.
Ramiro Martinez on the recovery, and the flag is on Hastings. So the Aggies gave one away, and now they got one back. Now they need to make it pay. Get in that end zone and tie this one up.
Yeah, Livingston trying to roll out to his left, just loses the grip looking downfield, just not really paying attention or giving any thought to it. Drops it, and it looks like the Aggies were able to pick it up, and like you said, a big chance for the Aggies right here to make something happen.
1st and 10 at the Broncos' 33-yard line. Pistol formation. Ramon drops back to pass. Goes to the end zone. And pass knocked away. Tried to get it to his tight end, Barrett. And that was John Williams, the linebacker, who knocked that one away. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Aggies back at the line quickly. They'll turn, hands it off to Stevens. He busts through. He's up to the 15, 25. And down to about the 22, 23-yard line. Looks like he may have enough for a 1st down. And he does. Aggies quickly to the line again.
Yeah, Zion Berg got him a lead block right there. Big boy down the field.
Pistol formation, hands it to Stevens again, cuts in. And there's a flag on the field. That looks like it's in the place of holding. So this is probably not going to be good for the Aggies.
Looked like Tyreek Roberts' helmet came off. He's got to sit out one play right there.
And it is a holding call. It was on Sergio Sosa, the guard. He's a 6 foot, 300-pound redshirt freshman. So instead of second short, it's going to be 1st and 20 from the 33-yard line. Back right where they started this drive. Hand off to the fullback. It's wide open. The 25 up to the 20-yard line. That's number 23. We don't have any listing of that number. One of about 3 numbers that we don't have listed. But nice carry on that play.
Got all those yards back in a second.
Now hand it off to him again to the right. Stiff arms one tackle, falls forward to the 10 as he kind of stumbled and fell to the ground, but it's going to be first down near the 10-yard line. We'll see if that's 1st and goal or 1st and 10 just outside of the 10.
Yeah, there's mystery man number 23, 2 big runs right there. Electrocuted with that lightning back there. Electrocutes this offense going for the Aggies.
He's representing the unknown running back. So it'll be 1st and goal from the, or 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Hand off to 23 again. He's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line. Second down, 9 yards to go.
It wouldn't surprise me here with a little play action after 3 run passes, or run plays, excuse me.
Ramon drops back to pass, looking to his left, lets it go to the corner, nobody there. It was too strong even if they were. Martinez was over there.
Yeah, Martinez had 2 defensive players on him in the back of the end zone. Probably not the best option for Ramon to go, but throws it ahead.
Well, Cooper Savage was over there, but he had cut off his route, and his defender had fallen back into that area as well. So maybe a little misroute there. Maybe somebody ran the wrong route because you don't want 2 guys in the same spot, that's for sure. Barely get the play off before the play clock runs out at 1 second. It's caught! Savage catches it. And he's drug out of bounds. Looked like his forward progress is about the 6, but they'll mark him down at the 7. So it's going to be 4th down, so the Aggies are going to have to settle for a field goal attempt. So the field goal attempt will be by Javier Medina, the 6'2", 165-pound freshman. Actually, he'll be the holder. The kicker will be Villarreal, the punter. So freshman snapper, freshman holder, freshman kicker. Whistle blew the play dead before we started. Actually, that's Barbarino out there as the holder. And so the first quarter ends. They'll have to kick to start the second. It's Hastings 7, Panhandle State 0. And we are ready for the second quarter of play. 4th and 6 for the Aggies from the 7-yard line. Field goal unit on there, as we mentioned. Freshman long snapper, freshman holder, and freshman kicker as well. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick. And it is good. And the Aggies are on the board with 14:56 left to play in the first half. It's Hastings 7, Panhandle State 3. ready to kick off for the Aggies. And here's the kick. All caught at the 5. 15-20. And he's going to be drugged down at the 22-yard line. That was number 25, Daquan Charles, and that was a tackle that the rodeo team would have been proud of. Boy, he dragged him down like it was a calf he just roped there.
Yeah, I think they're going to look for him to help him with that, with the steer wrestling right there. 7-time national champs could use one more.
Pistol formation. Handoff. And falls forward for several yards. And Coach Gaskin, what he said about the running backs, I mean, there was nothing there. And he got several yards out of that. And it was just sticking his head in there and pushing forward.
Yeah, think about these running backs with Taj Willingham and Tyree Naismith. They're two different type of running backs, but they are really, really good at what they do individually. You got a 5'7" senior and a 6'1" senior. Two different type of running backs. You got a speed and a power back.
Drop back to pass, throws it out in the flat to the running back. He's got room to run. He's up to the 35 and steps out of bounds near the 40-yard line at the 39. So that's going to be another first down for the Broncos, is they have really found open space in those flats and big plays. And I think they like that. As we mentioned, probably their best players, their running backs. You get the ball to them out in space, and it's an easy throw for the quarterback. I mean, he's got to make a pretty bad throw to not complete that out there.
I tell you what, if they, as a quarterback, he would love to do that every single time. Just dump it off, get about 12, 15 yards every single time. He does not mind that one bit less strain on the arm, and it still goes down in his stats as a big pass.
Handoff up the middle, falls forward. Leithhead meets him in the hole, but Willingham able to fall forward and get about 4 yards on the play. Yeah, it all looks the same in the stat sheet, whether you threw a 5-yard pass and the guy ran 50 yards or whether you threw it 50 yards and he was tackled immediately.
Like I said, less strain on the arm. I would not mind dumping it off to a running back and having him run 60 yards for a touchdown.
Drop back to pass again, lets one go down the sideline, and it is caught, just perfectly thrown. Just a fade pattern right down the sideline. And number 4, Jordan Johnson, 6'1", 190-pound senior with that catch.
Yeah, great throw right there by Clark Livingston, and the concentration by Jordan Johnson to haul it in with the defender right on his back. Catches it with his stomach and is able to go down and secure the catch before it hits the ground.
1st and 10 at the Aggies' 20-yard line now. Lightning strikes off in the distance again. Back to pass under pressure, lets it go out there, and the Aggie defense is there. Darian Primes and Horace Lewis out there to make the tackle.
I tell you what, Nathan Leithhead right up the gut, forces a bad pass by Livingston, and then you got Primes over there to swallow everybody up.
So 2nd down, 18 yards to go from the 28-yard line. L option to the wide side, pitches late, breaks one tackle, gets outside, finally brought down at the 25-yard line. Injured Aggie on the field. That's Justin Slaughter, or actually Jabrell Alexander, number 89. 11:53 to go in this first half. Aggies trail 7-3.
Tell you what, Horace Lewis had an absolute mammoth of a hit on Livingston on that option. Almost knocked that ball loose, and again, a great play by the speed of this defense to keep them from getting much of anything.
It's one of those plays where you make the offensive coordinator think, do I really want to expose my quarterback like that? 2 splits to each side. Back to pass, lets it go towards the sideline. That one a bit too high through his hands. And incomplete, so that's going to make it 4th down.
Yeah, I know.
14 yards to go. Looks like they'll bring their kicking unit on.
I know Troy Joseph wanted the pick on that. Upset he didn't get it after it popped up in the air, but I think he'll take the 4th down right now. Great play, great defensive stand right there by the Aggies.
Alex Stodgel in for the field goal attempt. Ball down, kick is up, it's blocked! Picked up! He's at the 50-yard line! The 40! The 20! And he's gonna get into the end zone for an Aggie touchdown!
Simba Young going the distance.
And it may have been Young that blocked it as well.
That'll get your blood pumping.
You know, when we talked to Coach Gascam before the game, when it came to special teams, he was really more worried about those freshmen making sure in their first game doing their job. But here, special teams can always play a big part in the game, and that blocked field goal puts the Aggies ahead for the first time in the 2018 season.
Yeah, no need to worry about that. A redshirt freshman, Simba Young, gets the ball, scoop and score.
I bet he's getting a little bit of talking to on that sideline. He started to celebrate about 4 yards out. And it looks like, because he did slow down, one of the players from Hastings hit him after he was already in the end zone. It looks like the Aggies, that's actually going to help the Aggies out a little bit, but you don't want to Leon let that thing and get it punched out before you get in the end zone.
Nah, he's like you said, a redshirt freshman, one of his first times on the field, gets a blocked field goal, scoop, and the touchdown 70 yards out. He's a little excited, a little pumped up. And I tell you what, I'm a little pumped up now after watching that. I tell you what, this whole crowd is pumped up.
Pierce with the snap, Barbarino with the hold. Villarreal's kick is up and good. And with 11:29 left to play in the first half, the Aggies take the lead 10-7 over Hastings. Because of the personal foul penalty at the end of that play, the Aggies will be kicking off from midfield. We'll see what their choice is here, whether they just try to decide to kick this one through the back of the end zone or maybe even try something they can get on top of. They'll squib kick that one down the 20-yard line up to the 25, and that's the worst field position they've started with, I think, off of kickoffs today.
Yeah, good sign for that right there. Not going to kick it back to those guys with less room for error for the Aggies. Just squib it right there. And like you said, the worst field position Hastings has started out with. And hopefully that's a good sign after the touchdown.
Of course, ironically, if they would have kicked it through the end zone, it would have been at the 25. It looks like there was a penalty on the Aggies. They gave them an extra 5, so if they just kicked it through the back of the end zone, they actually would have been better off. So 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Broncos. Two split to the wide side, one to the short. Fakes the handoff, looks out to the wide side, throws it to his deep outside receiver. Through his hands, no good. On the coverage, Chris Lewis. I'm afraid to try to say that it's the town Plaquemine, Louisiana, but it's in Louisiana, so it probably has some sort of a French sound to it. He's a player that came over from Bacone College who decided to drop their football program. When the Aggies go to Grambling this year, they were supposed to have a home game against Bacone, but so he was able to he and I'm sure those other players from Bacone were able to sign on somewhere else. Drops back to pass. He'll scramble forward now, up to the 35. Reaches about the 37-yard line.
Benjamin George right there on that tackle and shows the speed. I didn't know Livingston had that quick a speed. Quick getting out of the pocket. George just able to trip him up right there.
Benjamin George, a JUCO transfer from Polk State College in Central Florida. I know exactly where that is because I went to college about 15 miles down the road. And a tackle for a loss, and there was a bunch of Aggies in on that one. So it's going to be 4th down.
I tell you what, that was Nathan Leathed starting that off, slowing down Willingham in the backfield. And again, he's got his hand in a number of these plays for the Aggies, and it starts right there with that captain.
Well, and he was one of the, I think maybe even chosen as the Sooner Athletic Conference Defensive Player, the preseason Player of the Year. So shouldn't be a surprise that he's out there making big plays. Caught inside the 25, trying to get to the wide side of the field, up to the 30, the 40, the 50, breaks loose at the 40, still on his feet, at the 20-yard line, ball loose, knocked out of bounds by the 15-yard line. There's a hat on the field, there's a flag on the field, so I think this one's coming back.
Penalties aside, it's a great play by Kevin Carter as he made the cut, went to the far side of the field, have everybody tired and cuts back. And a great play, great blocking by the Aggies, but like you said, with the flag and the hat on the field, it might be coming back just a little bit.
Well, special teams have been special here in the second quarter, haven't they?
That's for sure.
We'll see if we can hear the call from the referee. Ominous clouds off in the distance. Of course, in the Oklahoma Panhandle, we never complain about when the rain comes or what shape it comes in. We'll take moisture any way we can get it.
Even if it's just little spurts. We got a little spurt last night, just around midnight, just a little bit of rain. Not too much, but like you said, we'll take it.
Well, considering I was at a high school game last night where at kickoff it was 102, I am happy to have clouds. Referees still discussing, as they said, several calls on the field. A hat on the field usually means that he's already thrown his flag, and that's the second thing to throw. So it was a holding call on the Aggies.
Yeah, it looks like that one's coming all the way back.
And that was at the 25. So they're going to mark that all the way back to the 15-yard line. So instead of being near the Hastings 15-yard line, they're going to be at their own 15-yard line. But they do have possession of the ball. 1st and 10 with 10:03 left to play in the first half, leading 10-7. Thunder rolling through the air. And the game is being put on delay right now. So it'll be at least 30 minutes from the last lightning strike before they restart. So game will be delayed with 10:03 left to play. In the second quarters, it's Panhandle State 10, Hastings 7. Both teams coming back out on the field. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line is the situation as the Aggie offense comes back out onto the field. It was just kind of...
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging around. We are back to football time here at Anchor B Stadium. And your OPSU Aggies, let's get things started.
In the shotgun formation. Hand off to Heyman. He's going to be driven back. Maybe made it back to the line of scrimmage. You can really see it. Both sides, they're just really hyped up, and they're just glad they're getting to play some football.
Yeah, I would be too after a 3-hour rain delay, especially Hastings cooped up in a little locker room for 3 hours. They're ready to get their legs moving.
Shotgun formation again. Ramon rolls out. He's got a man open. Martinez couldn't quite make his way back to the ball.
Number 11.
Ramon was just trying to avoid the rush at that point, had to let it go.
Goes up a little bit short.
Yeah, to be honest,
and 10 on
he had him wide open down
for
on the
Aggies.
sideline. Like you said, he was rushed. Looked like it was a hook right there coming back. If he would have had just a second longer, it probably would have been a first down right there.
3rd and 10, trips to the wide side, 1 to the short side. Ramon drops back to pass. It's a screen. Sends it up. He's up to the 20, the 25, the 30. Still his feet. Pass the defense. He's up to 50. It's a foot rush. Heyman up to 20, and he's finally caught from behind. But now he's inside the 15-yard line. I have no idea how he found a little crack in there to bust through all those Hastings defenders there, but he did.
Orlando Heyman tight rope in the
With that
sideline.
play right there,
Takes it all the way down. What a
touchdown.
Great play right there on 3rd down. Just trying to get the first down with a little extra yardage. And Orlando Heyman breaks a long one.
1st and 10 for the Aggies
The
at the
Aggies first
Hastings
down on the
12-yard line.
12.
Play clock running down to 5 now. Still trying to get situated, and they're going to have to call a timeout. And they do allow the timeout, so with 8:54 left in the first half, Aggies threatening to score after that big run by Heyman. It's Panhandle State 10, Hastings 7. Here, Ramon in the pistol formation. He'll hand it off to the running back, and he runs into a wall right there at the 11-yard line. And we found out a little bit earlier that we had, there was on our roster, we had a little bit of backwards on some numbers. We said number 23 is actually R.J. Stevens. It was listed as 32. 32 is actually Carlos Ransberg, and that was the runner there. Ransberg in the backfield with Ramon. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Back to pass, looking out wide. He's got a man out there. Touchdown, Aggies! Woo! Beautiful pass by Ramon.
I tell you what, Brandon put that ball right on the money. Are you kidding me? What a pass. The back shoulder in the end zone. My goodness. Nick West hauls that one in. Are you kidding me? What a throw by Brandon Ramon.
Nick West with a great catch, great pattern on that one.
For the touchdown.
Villarreal will line up for the kick. Seth Barbarino, the receiver, he's the holder. There's the snap, the hold, the kick, and it's through. It is good. The Aggies extend their lead with 8:17 left in the play in the first half. It's now OPSU 17, Hastings 7. So getting set to kick off. It is Javier Medina. As we mentioned, the freshman just down the road, Guyman, Oklahoma, handle the kicking duties. Kind of making the switch over from soccer to football. Here's the approach. Toe meets leather, and that is a booming kick by Medina into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. We've got some ruffians out there acting uncivilized on both sides.
Take over.
A little extracurricular activities out there, but what do you expect? It's 10 o'clock, 10:30 on a Saturday night for these college kids. It's not time to get rough out there.
They've been bottled up inside trying to get all this energy out.
Yeah, going back to that touchdown earlier by throw by Brandon Ramon, nothing special, just a fade route to the corner. Nick West said, he just says go up and get it. He grabs it, pulls it in, the Aggies up another touchdown for the Aggies.
Ramon's placement on that one was gorgeous. Turn, handoff to the tailback to the short side. Breaks through the first tackle, gets back to about the line of scrimmage. Could not tell for sure which one of the running backs that
tackle for the
was.
Aggies. The 2nd and 10 at the 25.
As that was Neesmith on the run on that play. Option to the wide side of the field. Aggie defense there again. Joanne Purifoy. And also Deandre fights in on the tackle.
3rd down.
Yeah, Fights did a good job. It's holding his ground and not biting on the juke right there by Livingston. And gets the tackle right there and brings up another 3rd down and long.
Came all the way up from his safety position to make that play. So 3rd and 8 yards to go for the Broncos. Drops back to pass. Plenty of time. Caught over the middle. Falls to the ground at about the 38-yard line. And that's going to be a 1st down for Hastings.
Yeah, Tyler Miller made a nice catch right there, coming across the middle, over the left hash mark. Good pass by Livingston, but a better catch right there by Miller.
1st and 10 on the 38 for the Broncos.
Pistol formation, option to the wide side again. He's got room to run. Oh, great open field tackle by Leadhead. Brings him down, or that was going to be a huge play.
Yeah, there's Nate again getting in the middle of things and making plays for the Aggies.
Heavy substitution on the defensive side for the Aggies. Just under 6.5 left to play.
Gain of 5 on the play. Ball at the 43.
In the first half. Aggies up by 10. Option to the wide side again. He's got open space. He's at the 50 into Aggie territory. Inside the 45, and looks like they'll mark him down about the 42-yard line.
So
first and 10 for Hastings.
On the stop for the Aggies,
and they'll move it back to the 43.
Young with the stop. That'll be another 1st down.
Yeah, a little confusion right there as they're going. Now they're running double backs in the backfield, trying to get those 2 great running backs in the mix.
And now option to the wide side again. Gets it outside. He's at the 35, the 30, all the way down to the 25. And Hastings is threatening to score. It'll be 1st and 10 right at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, back-to-back plays with a triple option right there. If Livingston doesn't like it, the hole up the middle, obviously you can keep it, go to the right side, and then pitch it once again, which he does to those great running backs. Either way, with these 2 running backs, he's going to have a good choice no matter what he picks.
Handoff up the middle, and he's going to be stopped right away.
Justin Slaughter with the tackle right there.
Benjamin George also went on that, number 48.
10 at the 25.
So 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Back to each side again, drops back to pass. Screen outside, read well there. Number 66, Horace Lewis, read that one well.
Horace Lewis.
Chased him down from behind.
That will bring up
it's going to be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, good job to keep his composure, but Livingston couldn't quite. He could not quite get the throw right there. He had patience, threw it short to his running back, but Lewis was able to make the tackle on that one.
Actually, a yard loss on that play, so 3rd and 11. Aggies need to hold here. That one over the middle, and it looks like it was caught. Looked like maybe it was over the hands of his intended receiver, but there was another
Miller with the catch right there.
guy behind him.
Tyler Miller again back there making another great catch, going to his knees.
Leave that in on the stop.
It looked like Livingston overthrew the initial receiver, but right to back him up was
26.
Tyler Miller back there. Another great catch in this drive.
So 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Handoff to the running back going wide. That's inside the 5, and he's brought down at about the 3.
And Livingston with the carry moves the ball down.
Yeah, the Broncos have put together a nice drive right here, just chipping away yard for yard, occasionally breaking that big run.
They have really confounded the Aggie defense a little bit here. That two-back set. Busted three! Oh my goodness! On the blitz! Nathan Leithhead just threw there like a laser, blows that play up at the handoff.
I tell you what, you want to see a big-time hit right here in college football? You just saw one right there. Nathan Leithhead exploding.
All the way back to the 6-yard line, so a three-yard loss. I mean, if he got back there any quicker, he just could have took the handoff.
William ran to a brick wall as Nathan Leithhead.
Looks to the corner, there's the fade pass. Did he get his feet in? Yes, he did, for the touchdown.
Yeah, nice throw right there by Livingston, just to the back corner, pretty much the same play that we saw in the Aggies against Nick West.
I think that was Jordan Johnson, one of their bigger receivers that caught that one.
So that will be a touchdown.
Yeah, big target right there for Livingston, sitting at 6'1". Just throws it up there, tells him to go get it, got the foot down, and that's a touchdown for the Broncos.
And they'll line up for the extra point. There's the hold, the kick, and it is no good. Oh, Hastings drives the length of the field, 75 yards, but with 3:02 left in the first half, the Aggies still hold a 4-point lead, 17-13 over Hastings. So as we get ready for the kickoff, back deep for the Aggies, number 19, Kevin Carter, and also number 1, Miguel Hudson. And there's the kick. Short kick, caught on the run at the 20-yard line, up to the 30, and the 35-yard line is where the Aggies will have it. 1st and 10.
Kevin Carter with the kick return.
The Aggies with a couple of touchdowns on the board, both coming off of big plays. The first one, special teams, when Hastings lined up for the field goal kick, blocked it, returned it for a touchdown. And then the big long run by Heyman set up the touchdown, the first offensive touchdown of the game after we came back after that 3.5 hour or so lightning delay. Pistol formation, handoff to Heyman up the middle, drags them forward for about a yard gain. And players getting pretty chippy here. Looked like Dominique Thomas was involved in that one. And there's an injured Aggie on the field.
That's not good.
And that is Heyman, I believe, on the field. So we've got an injury timeout on the field with 2:47 left to play, or 2:42 left to play in the first half. It's OPSU 17, Hastings 13.
And he's up and on his feet.
Orlando Heyman back to his feet. Good to see. He's leaving the field on his own power. As he's an important cog in this offense. Carlos Ransberg into the game at running back. We'll take Heyman's spot.
Yeah, I'd like to see Brandon Ramon get going offensively. He had that pass last drive. Great, pretty touchdown pass.
2nd and 9. Ball at the 42-yard line. Really almost more of a 2nd and 8 because that first down marker is right at the 40. Quick throw outside. And it is caught by Miguel Hudson. He's up past the 45 to the 47. And that'll make it 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
3rd down or rowdy down. Let's hear it from our fans. Let's get rowdy. And a big thanks goes out to Great American Ford Lincoln of Guyman for sponsoring our rowdy downs.
2 splits to each side. Ramon looks to the wide side, throws the deep pass. And ball incomplete as he was trying to get it to Martinez.
Pass was intended for Martinez. Incomplete.
And Coach Gaskamp calls for the punt team on 4th and 3. Going to try to pin Hastings deep. See if they've figured things out here, as they've talked with the defense over here since that last scoring drive by Hastings.
It looked like Martinez got a little tied up right there with Braylon Griffin on that far side, and I don't think he was a pass interference, but he did get tied up. I know Martinez thought he got it pulled over.
There's the snap and the kick. Good end over end kick. It'll give a good roll, and he falls on it down about the 12-yard line. Very dangerous play with 2 Aggies right beside him. So with 1:50 still left in the half, Hastings takes over possession deep in their own territory.
Broncos will
It's
take
OPSU
over.
17,
First down.
Hastings 13. So Aggies have had a big play from the offense, big play from the special teams. How about a pick 6 right here?
That would be absolutely lovely.
And the fade pattern down the sideline. He's got him out there. Incomplete pass as he tried to find Johnson. Good coverage there by the defense.
And Troy Joseph
21.
absolutely
Joseph.
all over him.
He's
Jordan
second
Johnson
down.
couldn't get any separation, and he was on him. He was on him like crazy right there. Troy Joseph making an absolutely brilliant play. It was overthrown, but I don't think he would have caught that anyway.
Second down, 10 yards to go from the 12-yard line. Out pattern to the side, and it's caught. Only about a 4-yard
And a
gain,
good job
though.
by Harris.
Knocked out of bounds at the
Taken out of
16-yard
bounds.
line.
That brings up another 3rd down. Aggie fans, let's hear it.
That was caught by Tyler Miller. Troy Joseph on the defense on that play. And referee blows the play dead here.
Game clock operator. Please set the clock at 1:40. 1:40.
They'll have to reset the clock, put 9 seconds back on it. 1:40. Minute 40 is what they wanted at. And it's back up. Well, last year they had some issues with that old scoreboard. It took them quite a while to get it straightened out. So 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Throws the quick out. Johnson falls down, incomplete. That's going to be 4th down. So the Aggies, they're going to get the ball back with about a minute and a half left, and they're going to get it with some decent field possession. So Kevin Carter will trot out there, and he's going to set up somewhere near the midfield stripe. So the Aggies are going to have another scoring opportunity before this half is over, as long as they take care of the ball.
Yeah, it'd be great to see Carter get some yards right here and give them a chance to at least get a field goal, get momentum going, more momentum going into the second half.
Back to receive the
They
punt.
do have Carter step back to 40. That one will bounce at about midfield, rolls back into Aggie territory to the 44-yard line, and that's where the Aggies will have it.
Ball will
1
be down
minute,
about the
24 seconds left
44-yard line.
in the first
Aggies
half.
Take over on downs. All right, Aggie fans, let's get revved up.
Ramon in the backfield, a couple backs in there with him as well. Handoff, and he's going to be dropped for a yard loss, as that's going to be Ransburg on the run. He's dropped for a yard loss, so 2nd down, 11 yards to go.
Yeah, it looks like he lost his footing a little bit trying to make a cut, the initial cut. It has been raining, and you got to understand this. They have not played on this turf field a whole lot, not a lot of practice time.
Well, and that all starts with the defense getting penetration, forcing him to cut almost as soon as he got it. He'll try to run to the right, slips again, maybe a yard.
Again with the carry.
It looks like the Aggies are going to be happy just to run the clock out on this first half at this point. There is a timeout on the field now for an injured
on the stop. We have a player
Bronco
down
with
off the
42
field.
seconds left in the half. Hastings player that was injured, having to be helped off the field. Not sure. He's kind of doubled over as he's trying to get off the field, so he's obviously in a lot of pain right now. 32 seconds left in the half. Third down, 9 yards to go for the Aggies. And the clock.
The third down and 9.
And now they've stopped it again. Play clock is now at 25. Game clock is at 32. Pistol formation. And hands off to the tailback. Up to the 50-yard line, and that is number 23, RGA Stevens. And it's going to be fourth down. And I imagine the Aggies will just let this run out. Either that or stop it with 1 second and throw the Hail Mary.
No, I figure they'll
They'll
let it run out right now.
Down at the 49-yard line.
Head to halftime with a nice lead and try going hard in the second half.
And it is halftime. Panhandle State
Now
leads
we'll end the
Hastings
quarter
17 to
with the score
13.
right now 17-13 in favor of your OPSU Aggies.
And the Aggies will receive the ball. Start this second half. Kick returners are Kevin Carter and also Miguel Hudson. There's the kick. Hudson's going to grab it about the 20-yard line. Up to the 25, the 30, still on his feet as he breaks a couple tackles. The 35 is where he's going to be brought down. And I saw yellow laundry come out on the field late.
Hudson.
You make these guys block too long, and somebody's going to get called for a hold.
Well, like we all
on the
know,
play.
there's holding on every single play. And it looks like the referee caught a glimpse of that one right there, and that's going to go back about 10 yards, 5 yards for him.
And it is holding against the Aggies as we suspected. It looks like the Aggies will have a 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. They'll split 2 to each side. Ramon rolls out to the wide side, lets it fly, and just too much in the dirt as he tried to get it to his deep receiver there, Hudson.
Second down for the Aggies.
Yeah, Hudson had some separation toward the sideline, just an underthrown ball on the run, moving to his right. Ramon just could not connect with him. Threw it low. Brings up a second down for the Aggies.
It does appear Heyman's back out there, so that's good news to see Aggies starting running back out on the field after the injury. He'll take the handoff, goes forward, but not very far at all, and takes a hard hit. As several Hastings defenders just landed right on top of him.
The bad news, he didn't gain any yards. The good news, he could take a hit.
Heyman with the
Looks
carry.
fine to me.
And third down, 9 yards to go for the Aggies. Trying to hit him on the slant pattern through his
Pass is
hands.
intended for Hudson through his hands.
Right through the hands of Hudson. Yeah, makes it fourth down.
Yeah, we've got a first down right there.
Brings up
Miguel
fourth
could just
down for the
palm that
Aggies.
one in, but just could not come up with it. And another drive lost right there for the Aggies, and a nice strong throw. Ramon's passes have looked, on target. Just a little bit out of reach right there. He couldn't hold on to that one.
Villarreal back to punt. Hastings is probably going to get good field position most likely here too. There's the snap, gets the kickoff, and that one bounds well into their Hastings territory. And it's going to get an Aggie roll inside the 30-yard line to the 29. I don't know that the Aggies could ask for anything much better than that.
They got the perfect roll right there. Villarreal, for the second time in a row, his punts have been really, really nice as the freshman, showing what he can do with his leg. I'm giving credit where credit is due. Got to give credit to the punters right there. And the punter giving them good field position as well as they could have.
13:59 left to play third quarter. Aggies up by 4. And Hastings back to that 2-back set out of the pistol. That one tipped up into the air. Almost
at the line, incomplete.
Dovat almost had the interception, as that's going to be George, number 48. It jumped into that one. Benjamin George, as we mentioned, from Polk State College, Tampa, Florida.
Ball was deflected by Brazard.
Yeah, George got in the backfield like a lightning bolt. I didn't even see him. I just saw the ball get thrown up and got a hand on it up in the air. Almost picked off right there, too, on a deflection by Kellen Gardner.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Hand off to tailback. Oh, he's going to wrap up in the backfield. Got to about the third tackler. First guy back there. Number 44, Jasper Smiley, the defensive tackle there. Just busted through there, blew that play up.
Causing all sorts of problems right there for Hastings.
Running back did slip through his hands, but other Aggies there to make the stop. And some sort of penalty. Not sure what they called there, but gave 5 yards to Hastings. I'm not sure what happened. So it's second down and 5, and it must have been an offsides call. That play for a loss didn't count whatsoever. Throw out in the flat. It's caught up to the 45 and brought down near the midfield stripe. That's Young on the tackle.
That will make a first down.
Yeah,
for the Broncos.
the Simba just backed off him a bit too much. Had a cover 3 defense right there, and well, the stop route right there by number 4 for Hastings. That's Jordan Johnson.
Just those little short routes. I mean, that's what they've been working all evening long. Haven't gone deep too many times, just a few. Hits him on the inside route, and that's good for a decent gain.
Yeah, nice catch right there, Anthony Martinez.
Martinez with the catch.
In
Fights
traffic.
with the tackle. We'll make it second down, 5 yards to go.
Gain of about 5, puts the ball on the 46, second down and 5.
Yeah, the Broncos doing a little bit more with their passing game. It was all run pretty much in the first half. And before the rain delay, to be honest.
Quick throw out in the out pattern. That's enough for a first down. And he's into the Aggies' 40-yard line, so that's going to be first and 10 again.
For another first down.
Just chipping away, Livingston. Making those easy passes right over the middle, right to the sideline, little out, little 5 yards there, 7 yards there.
12 and a half still to play, third quarter. Aggies with a 4-point lead. But Hastings driving. Man in motion across the formation. Drop back, throws it to him on the out pattern, wide open. And they're just going to the same play pretty much every time. 25 short variations on it, but until it's one of those things where you run it until they decide they're going to do something about it to stop it.
It's Tyler Miller with his third catch on this drive, and they've used him a bunch, a little slot receiver, and Livingston, like I said, just putting it right on the money.
And drops back to pass, now throws it out in the flat. Now one blown up. As that is Fights on the tackle.
Pedro Fights is going at the knees right there of number 7, Naismith.
Will be a loss of a couple yards.
Great
on the
tackle
play.
for a
Brings
loss.
up
read it perfectly. And Fights coming in with the
Second
tackle.
and 12 on the 26.
So trips to the wide side, one to the short side. It's his inside receiver, dropped it though. He probably could have scored on that one if he catches it.
Incomplete.
Yeah, I think so too. And
That'll bring up another
Fights
third
right there, just started the
down.
ground.
Aggie fans,
Saying
let's
caught a little
make
bit of
some
cramp.
noise.
And we've got another injured Aggie on the
Stand
field.
by, we do have a player down on
So an injury
field.
timeout with 11:10 left to play in the third quarter. It's Panhandle State 17, Hastings 13. Gudrell
Want to say big
fights
thanks
up
goes
on
out,
his feet.
even though it's been kind of a long
Able to
night. A big thanks goes out
walk
to
himself off of there, didn't need any assistance, so that's good news.
We appreciate all their support. Aggie fans, it's third down.
Big down here for the Aggie defense, 3rd and 12 from the 26. Hastings has really been doing what they want since they came back from the lightning delay. So
Yeah, the passing game has been crucial right now. Just chipping away, and now trips line up, trips over there to the left.
quarterback looking that way, hits his inside receiver. That's Johnson. Catches it inside the 15. That's
And
not
pass from Livingston up to number 4.
And they ran the
Johnson,
exact
rookie
same play as they
reception.
did before, just this time he got the ball to him and
He
made a
had it in
great
on the
catch
stump
right there.
right
He goes
there.
short of the first down.
about a yard short.
Just
We'll see
about a
what they
yard
do
short
here. Looks like they're going to
of
go
the first
for it.
down marker. It'll be 4th and about 1.
This is where that Aggie
On the
defense
15.
so well known, that front 7.
And it looks like Gascamp wants a timeout. To talk it over his defense. 10:41 left to play third quarter. It's Panhandle State 17, Hastings 13. So here we go. 4th and a yard to go at the 15-yard line. Option play. Quarterback keeps it. And looks like he does have the first down as he was brought down inside the 15-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Broncos.
Right there.
They threaten
for a first
either.
down. They'll move the chains.
To take the lead with a touchdown here. They'll split 2 to each side. Pistol formation with Neesmith behind him in the backfield. Quarterback looks, got that pass off, but too far inside, but mainly caused by the pressure there.
Brings
Yeah,
up second
Jasper
down.
Smiley and Benjamin George back in the backfield trying to disrupt the passer, make him get the ball. He had him open, to be honest, but he just overshot him because of that great pressure by that D line.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Man in motion, there'll be trips to the wide side.
Look for that slant across the middle again.
Quarterback's going to take off, lets it go. Does find his receiver, but he can't find a handle on it. He was going to be inside the 5-yard line.
For the receiver, but comes up.
Instead, it's going to be 3rd down and 10. Back at the 14.
Yeah, Miller dropped a pass right there. Probably could have got within the 5-yard line, but he's been pretty stellar for Hastings so far and drops a pass. To be honest, he should have had.
Noise. It's another 3rd down. Come on, Aggies, make some noise.
Exactly 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Drops back to pass. Lets one go towards the corner. In and out of his hands. And it's going to be 4th down.
Another pass on the money for Livingston, but his receiver just could not bring it in. Out pattern straight to the bottom corner of the end zone. Throws it before his receivers even turn. Great pass. Great accuracy, but could not catch it. Hits the shoulder pads and flies off. Aggies catch a break right there.
So with 10 yards to go, Hastings this time will opt to kick the field goal. There's a snap to hold the kick. And it is good. So at 9:50 left to play in the third quarter, it's a 1-point game. Panhandle State leads Hastings 17 to 16. As we set for the kickoff, once again it is Carter and Hudson back deep for the Aggies. Stodgel kicking off again. And Hudson's going to catch it at about the 10, the 15, the 20, 25. He's up past the 30 and brought down past the 35-yard line. So decent field position for the Aggies for their next offensive possession, but you got to move the ball.
Yeah, they got to get that run game back to where it was, but you can't just run it through them, especially with this young offensive line. You got to mix and match. And like I said before, I'd like to see Brandon Ramon get a little bit going right now in the passing game.
The first and 10, ball will be
And see if
placed
Coach
out
Gass
for
wants him to
36.
go through the air a little bit more.
Stevens will line up in the backfield with Ramon. Trips to the wide side. Ramon fakes the handoff, throws it to the inside receiver. And that was his tight end Barrett. And just actually Barbarino is inside receiver.
Number 85.
Just a little off. And if you're a little off on those short passes,
second down.
you just can't move quick enough to one side or the other to make up the difference. So you've got to be very accurate there, and just to being just a little bit off,
Yeah,
will cost you.
Ramon's going to have to match Livingston pass for pass if they want to get back into this game.
Rolls out to the wide side, lets one go deep. Receiver didn't see it, but the ball landed out of bounds anyway.
And long pass intended down for Fair, incomplete.
That's going to make it 3rd and 10.
Down for
And
the
Jalen Fair had a
Aggies.
step on him. Ramon overshot him. I would like to see him throw that up and try to give his receiver a chance to go up and make a play.
Oh, if nothing else, even just to get a chance at an interference penalty. An eligible man downfield against the Aggies. That's declined. So it'll still stay 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Ramon's got to step up and deliver a pass right here. They got to convert this 3rd and 10. It's been a while since they've moved the ball.
And just to keep the defense off the field for a while as well, as Hastings has gone on some long drives here lately. Ramon over the middle, caught and dropped. He put that right in the belly of his receiver, Barbarino, and he just dropped it.
Absolute seed right there by Ramon. Throws it right on the money into the stomach. Dropped by Barbarino, and Ramon goes over there straight to Barbarino, gives him a tap on the helmet, saying, you know what, we'll get him next time.
Well, it's one of those where if your quarterback's struggling when he does throw a nice pass, you got to help him out of that situation by catching that ball. So another 3 and out for the Aggies. They have lived and died by the big play tonight. Run off, that's going to roll forward, picked up inside the 25, and he's going to be brought down there right at the 25-yard line. And that was number 20, DeLeon Williams on the tackle.
25-yard line. 1st and 10 for
Also there to help him was Darren Primes.
Yeah, great punt. Villarreal pins them back at the 25, a line drive punt, end over end.
Man in motion. They'll hand it off to the wide side. Cuts back inside. Not much of a gain. Couple of yards.
And a couple yards right there.
The ball up to the 27.
Looks like him and
Aggies
on the stop
really
for
undersized.
the play.
This
Brings up 2nd and 8
Hastings
at the
team is
27.
pretty good size all the way across the board. Even their receivers are pretty good size.
Yeah, the linebackers and some of the defensive ends could get a slight step over the Hastings line. The thing is that they get the ball released so quickly.
And a flag thrown inside.
Pass
The
is
ball was
incomplete. Flag on the
knocked
play.
away by the defender. As Joseph knocked that away.
And Joseph made a nice play. I don't know if they're going to get him with a push or interference. There's a flag on the play.
I think that's against Hastings. He's looking to coach Gascamp. I think it's a hold. So it'll remain second down, but the ball will be marked all the way back inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Hands it off. He's going to be dropped for a loss.
And nice pursuit
Number
right there. Getting back on the
56
play.
for the Aggies.
For a nice stop is number 56.
Yeah, right there was just an option play. And
One of those-
Livingston did not make the right
That'll
read.
bring up
Drop for a
another
loss.
third down. Aggie fans, you know what you got to do.
Option play action right there as he had receivers downfield. Decided to hand it off and resulted in a loss.
Clock down to 8 minutes left, third quarter. Lets it go down the sideline. Intercepted! We're going to get that pick six!
There it is.
Pick
There it is.
six! Aggies have scored on offense, defense, and now special teams.
There's Lasimba Young.
Young with the interception.
There's a flag back there.
The Simba Young. We'll have to see what the call is here.
There's a flag down on the play.
And they'll say it was a block in the back, but it will be the Aggies' ball. So obviously blocking after the interception. I don't know why anybody would have. It looks like it might be on Fights, as mad as he is right now. Of course, he's a pretty feisty guy, as small as he is. To play at the collegiate level, you got to be feisty if you're going to be that small and play.
Yeah, good.
It honestly looked like there was no reason for anybody to block
Yeah,
anybody,
nobody-
because all he had to do was run straight to the end zone,
Yeah,
and
Young-
nobody was in his way.
Young could run from here to Guyman. There was nobody around him. For the life of me, I cannot understand why there was a block in the back, but upside Aggie ball. Let's see if the Aggies can move it. They got 46 yards to go.
Handoff, and falls forward, got past a couple of defenders to make some positive yards out of it. That was Stevens on the run.
That right there, that's a great play. Great play by Stevens. Just making something out of nothing, getting a couple yards, just falling forward.
And it looks like though it's going to be a holding call possibly.
Stevens with the carry on the ball.
So 2 yards forward, but 10 back.
Flag on the play.
Make that a 15-yarder. So the Aggies have gone from a pick six to the ball back at their own 46-yard line, 1st and 25. The offense is just going backwards since that long run by Heyman set up their first offensive touchdown. They
Yeah.
really have not gone anywhere forward since then.
When you can't get anything done offensively, probably a bad idea to not have those penalties right there to push you back.
Hand off the tailback, ball is loose on the ground. Ramon falls on it back at the 40-yard line.
And fumble on the play.
Aggies continue to go backwards. It's going to be 3rd down, and they've got to get
Like Ramon was able to get back on the fumble.
all the way to their own, to the Hastings 41-yard line for a 1st down. Make that the 31. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the, they're so far away, I'm looking at the front end of the 1st down marker.
Yeah, they got a lot of ground to make up. Let's see what they do here.
And a handoff. That's runs up all the way to that 40-yard line, so it's at least going to make it a manageable play. And that's another local kid. Their number 35, George Dominguez from over in Turpin, Oklahoma.
Getting his first touch of the year. It's a nice little gain. Tries to help them out just a little bit. Now a little bit more manageable for the Aggies to make, and Dominguez is going to stay in there after that long run.
So 3rd down, 11 yards to go. Prospective pass, gets it out to him in the flats, up to the 40, up to the 35-yard line for Dominguez. It'll be 4th down and 4 yards to go. Of course, they're in that kind of no man's land where you can't kick a field goal because you're kicking it at 50-yard, 55-yarder. But you can't really punt because it's not going to give you much of a help anyway. So 4th down, 5 yards to go from the 36-yard line.
Ramon's got to have some ice in his veins. Fire that across the middle.
If they can get past the initial defenders, they're playing tight coverage. They're coming with a blitz.
Yeah,
Somebody
Hastings
gets through.
showing blitz right now.
Throws it deep, turn the sideline. West is out there. Ball knocked away by the defender.
Underthrown, but to be honest, I think he got held.
He did grab a hold of the back of his jersey for just a second, but that's not an uncommon thing. Ball turned back over on downs to Hastings. 5:18, so, a pick 6 would have put them up by at least 8. And instead, they're turning the ball over with no points on a short field where they took over at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, just mental errors right there for the Aggies. And you got the penalty, 15-yard penalty. You got the fumble. There's altogether not a very good last few drives for the Aggies, and they have to get some inroads at some point.
You have to be cleaner on that. Hand off to the wide side. He's up past the 40-yard line to about the 42.
And tripped up right there for the Aggies.
Be 2nd down, 4 yards to go. 5 minutes left to play, 3rd quarter.
And the Broncos just keep inching away or chipping away, really. Just
hit him about
5 yards, 6 yards, just all over the place. Going right through this Aggie defense. They're looking a little sluggish after that rain delay.
The offensive line is leaving some nice gaps for their backs to run through. That one over the middle, kind of broken up there a little bit by Williams, even though I'm not sure he even knew the ball was coming there. It was just trying to cover that area.
And Dylan Williams gets in there, makes a nice play. Now a little defensive stand as a bigger unit comes in for the Aggies. Try to stop that run right up the middle.
3rd and 5. Sequoia Smith, Jasper, Smiley back in.
Hunter Kirkman sitting right in the middle of that line.
And hand off to the wide side. He's trying to get outside, cuts it up. He's not going to get there. Makes it to about the 45, but he's going to be about 1.5 yards short.
On the stop.
A great play right there by those linebackers for the Aggies again. Stops them short of the 1st down by 2 yards.
2 on the play.
4th down and 2 yards to go. And they'll finally bring out their punt unit.
Yeah, it looked like for a second they were thinking about going for it, but the way the Aggies offense is going right now, I don't blame them for wanting to punt now with just 2 yards to go. Pin them deep in their own territory.
Aggies keep their regular defense out, other than they bring Kevin Carter in to go back to receive the punt. Play clock was down to 1. Hastings calls a timeout. 3:52 left to play in the 3rd quarter. It's Panhandle State 17, Hastings 16.
Broncos back
out of the timeout, 4th and 2
for the Aggies.
at the 44-yard line.
Kevin Carter, number 19.
Kevin Carter back, deep rugby-style kick, gets it off. That one's going to roll inside the 10, down to about the 5-yard line. So that rugby kick worked well for Hastings. Wasn't much Carter could do to cover that one. So 1st and 10 for the Aggies, just outside the 5. And if ever they needed the offense to move the ball and get a couple 1st downs at least, it's right now.
And they're going to have to go 95 yards. The longest drive that they would have to complete in this game so far. And think it's about time that they're going to start clicking because the last few drives have been absolutely nothing for the Aggie offense.
Aggies backed up in near their own end zone. Looked like maybe gained a yard. Boy, initially that looked like a late hit from the safety that came in, but apparently Aggies still had the ball moving forward.
35, Dominguez.
So Dominguez makes a couple yards on that one.
No gain on the
Strong
play. That'll
run
bring
right there by
up
Dominguez.
Second down.
Well, Dominguez was a one-cut runner in high school. Saw him play very fast for his size, and boy, he, of course, in high school, was playing small school ball. He was a pretty big running back, but obviously not that big out here in the college level. So false start for the Aggies, so that'll be half the distance to the goal. So they're going to be back inside the 5.
Will be against the Aggies.
And once again, an unforced error hurting them, hurting themselves.
Yeah, starting now, they're going to have to be absolutely perfect. I know they're up by 1 still, but with that Hastings offense going through, they're going to have to give some insurance points right here.
Dominguez takes the handoff, still on his feet, fighting forward. Did that just to get past the 5-yard line. We've got 2 flags on the field. I think we've got a receiver and a defensive back fighting.
Flags on the play again.
Referees discussing with the umpire exactly what the call is. And it looks like it's going to be on the Aggies. It looks like the Aggies are going to go to a 2-back set with Dominguez staying in there. Stevens comes in. So it's 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Ball basically back where it started at this drive, just barely outside the 5-yard line. Pistol formation. Ramon with the handoff straight up the middle, at least out past the 10-yard line. So little breathing room for the punt team at least.
Ball handed off to Stevens.
Stevens up to the 10, 11-yard line. We've got a timeout on the field for another injury. 2:16 left to play. It's Panhandle 17, Hastings 16. So once again, 4th down, about 5 yards to go as the ball is at the 11-yard line. And Hastings, they're going to get some great field position here.
Villarreal back to punt for the Aggies.
Villarreal back to punt. Got to make sure they can get this one off too. Low snap, gets it off. No room kick. Caught it at the 45, falls down right there. So Hastings going to start this drive in Aggie territory with 2 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Aggies lead by 1.
Roughly, be 1st down for the Broncos.
And in motion across the formation. Now hand it off to tailback, and he's blown up in the backfield.
Stopped right there by
Number 42, Darian Primes. Drops him for a 5-yard loss. Back at the midfield stripe. They'll mark him up in Aggie territory at the 49. I think they gave him the benefit of the doubt because I think Primes hit him right at the 50-yard line.
Oh, that speed by Primes getting back there, unloading on Willingham right now.
That was a textbook blitz right there, wasn't it?
You want to know about a form tackle? That's a form tackle right there if y'all are watching at home.
Now back to pass. Lets one go down the sideline. He's got a man out there. Ball knocked away, and they're going to call a pass interference there. And it looks like that's probably the right call.
Yeah, Fights got right in his shoulder. Didn't get the head turned around all the way. Kind of wrestled him to the ground as that ball was getting into his hands.
Well, he got there just a little bit too early because he was trying to make up ground. The ball was thrown just a little bit behind. Of course, that pass is on target. That's 6 points. So I guess you'd take a 15-yard penalty and a first down over 6 more points on the board.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good trade-off for the Aggies at this point.
The Aggies defense has kept them in this game. Panhandle State offense is going to have to figure some things out. They are not moving the ball very well at all. Just not executing.
Yeah, it's going to be up to the defense to see if they can get some momentum, get the offense fired up and energized.
And out in the flat, wide open, lots of room. And he's going to go out of bounds about the 20-yard line, so it's going to be a 1st and 10.
Another swing pass right there for Livingston. Just dumps it off to one of his running backs and has him run out. Just like we said before, little bitty drop passes, check down passes, and gets those big gains with those big running backs.
Typically, your linebackers have one's keying on each of your backs.
About the 21-yard line.
And it just doesn't seem like when their running backs go out in the flats, anybody's keying on them at all. Wide open again. Goes almost 10 yards before he's touched.
Pass is on the stop number 21 for the
See, when they're running that cover 2 or cover 3 right there, it leaves that flat wide open for the running back every single time.
Be 2nd down.
And I can imagine now that Gaskamp's going to put one of his linebackers spying on that back from now on.
2nd down. Looks like a long 2. And they're going to let the final seconds tick off this 3rd quarter. And we head to the final stanza. It's Panhandle State 17,
And that'll bring the
Hastings 16.
on.
So 2nd down and 3 at the 13-yard line. Option to the wide foot side. Quarterback keeps it inside the 10-yard line. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. So 1st and goal.
Enough for a 1st down.
They'll mark the ball right on the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Livingston in this second half and after the rain delay has been all over the field with his arm, showing what he can do with the legs. Just a couple of yards he needed to get. Quick little burst right to the line of scrimmage.
Running back busts through. Going to be close to the 5-yard line. Looks like
right
maybe
there,
at the
and
7.
Aggies in on the tackle.
And that Hastings offensive line, I think a big key to that, the execution being so well, is they are getting a push up there.
Again, want to say a big thanks to everybody
fresh
for
unit out
sticking
for the
around for
Aggies,
our
trying to
game
make a
tonight
good
here
defensive
at
stand.
Anchor
At least
Stadium.
hold the Hastings Broncos to a field goal.
We greatly appreciate it. We know it's not easy sometimes, but we appreciate it.
Drops back to pass again. Throws a slant pattern. It is caught. No, dropped it.
Yeah, it looks like he ran into the referee right there, and you can see the receiver not happy about that. When he tried to catch it, he ran straight into the referee and dropped it.
Brings up another 3rd down. You know what you got to do on defense.
The
Come on.
7-yard line.
This is what it's all about right here. Aggies got to load up, make a big-time play.
So trips to the wide side, one to the short side. He's going to the short side, fade to the corner. It's too long. It's going to be 4th down. So Hastings with a big decision here.
Number 4 in the 4th quarter
At the 7-yard line, are they going to go for it? Are they going to bring their? Looks like they're going to bring their field goal unit out here to try to take the lead.
Yeah, great play right there by Troy Joseph on his man. Did not let him get a step, get some hands up in the air. He would have had to pull that down with a miracle catch, but great coverage right there by Joseph.
See if the Aggies can load up and get them another block. That one is good. Couldn't tell for sure until the referee put his hands up. So with 13:36 left in the game,
for your OPSU
Hastings
Aggies,
regains the lead 19-17 over the Aggies.
We're getting ready for kickoff coming up.
So Stockstill ready to kick off. Carter and Hudson back deep again for the Aggies. That one up to Carter at the 20, 25, upended. He's at the 24-yard line.
And Aggies will
First
take
and 10
over.
for the
First
Aggies,
down.
and they've got to get the ball moving here. Looks like Gaskamp has called over his offense. Want
Gonna
to
be
talk to
about
them a little
the
bit before they go out there.
28-yard line. All right, Aggies, come on, let's
72
get
yards to
going.
go
Let's
for
run
the
up.
Aggies. And like I said, there's Orlando Heyman back. We actually haven't seen him in the second half all that much. Stevens and Dominguez have been getting a couple touches.
Ramon drops back to pass. Lets one go to Hudson, too low.
And
that one in the ground.
Ramon
And
with
just
the
again,
pass to Hudson.
but the short pass is just a little bit off, and you
incomplete
don't have to be off by
second
much.
down.
Yeah, to me it looks like Ramon is kind of timid to make a big play downfield. He just got to give his receivers a chance. He's got to make those long throws sometimes, or those in-between throws to give the Aggies a chance to make up some ground.
Hand off to Heyman, up to the 30, the 35. He's got a first down with an 11-yard run up to the 39-yard line.
Great quick burst right there. Orlando Heyman hits the hole,
And Heyman
makes
with the
one
carry
cut,
right there, enough
breaks a
for
couple tackles, and a
another
first
Aggie
down right
first
there.
Down.
One day of my life, I'd like to be that fast.
At least one day.
Hand off to Heyman. One cut again. Gets about
And
4, so that's a
Heyman with
good
the carry.
run
Heyman
on
picks
first
up
down.
about
So it'll be
2 or 3
second
on the
down,
carry,
6
brings up
yards to
second
go.
down.
It gives them something to work with.
You don't have to try to get it all at once. They'll line up this time, trips to the wide side of the field. Heyman out of the backfield, let's throw it back to him. He's going to throw a halfback pass, but he's going to be thrown down for a big loss.
And a flag on the play.
Yeah, broken play right there.
Cornelius Barber III on the tackle.
I'm not entirely sure if he would have been able to throw that forward.
They'll say a face
Face
mask,
mask
personal
being
foul.
called on
That's
the
going to be
Broncos.
15 yards and an automatic first
Will
down
be
as
an
a part of
Aggie
that.
first down.
So what looked like a disastrous play ends up working in the Aggies' favor, and they need a couple plays like that.
Yeah, they'll take that all day because at least something go their way this time.
Ball into Hastings territory at the 42-yard line.
The Aggies catch a big break right there. Let's see if they can make something of it as they go into enemy territory now.
Handoff, Rand's ball, kind of bobbled it, but he held on to it there, goes forward, fights to the 35-yard line. Do not have Ransbaugh's weight or anything, and we've got some fighting out on the field. As every referee out there threw his flag.
You can see Brandon Ramon right there. Looks like he's just trying to make peace with them now.
We'll see. They may toss a couple guys out. And it looks like the personal foul penalty is going to go against the Aggies. Once again, another unforced error, just not staying under control.
Yeah, they had some good luck on their side with that face mask penalty, and looks like they're
Gascamp still trying to find out what's going on. Referee's still talking out there, so we'll see. 12-13 left to play. Aggies trail by 2. So offsetting penalties, actually, so
penalties, I believe, will be offset. The 2nd and 10 at the 42.
actually it'll be 2nd down and about 4 yards to go for the Aggies. Heyman in the tailback spot of that pistol formation. They'll turn, hand it off to him, cuts a little to the left, cuts it way outside of the 30, and he's brought down at about the 27-yard line. Another nice run by Heyman.
Heyman with the carry, enough for a Aggies first down.
Running off the field, holding that arm, that right arm of his. Gonna get that checked out, but a nice few runs by Orlando Heyman. Gets the Aggies some momentum now. Let's see if it opens up the passing game a bit for Brandon Ramon.
Stevens in there at tailback. They'll turn and hand it to him to the short side. Flag on the play again. Busting down the sideline. That looks like that could have been a late hit. But it may have been one on the sideline, might have carried out of bounds.
Yeah, Coach Gass not happy about that call over there. Or no call, the lack thereof.
And a chop block. Looked like Gascamp was yelling at these guys out there. You've got to communicate.
The Aggies.
It looked like that was Zion Bird.
So ball brought all the way back to the 44-yard line. So it's first down. It's first down and 25 to go. Trips to the wide, one to the short side. Handoff up the middle to Stevens, doesn't really go anywhere. Maybe a yard or two. It's going to be second long.
Maybe a yard or two on the play. Brings up second down for the Aggies.
And tight end Barrett comes back into the game.
Let's see if they can get one to Barrett. Right up the seam, that would be nice. With that long body. Big target for Brandon Ramon to hit.
A little out pattern on the short side. It's caught, upended at the 35-yard line. It's going to be third down and about 16 to go.
And Nick West, a nice catch. Try to get upfield, but was hit right away
on the 36.
On that out pattern.
Come on, Aggie fans, let's help them out. Let's make some noise.
We're going to need a perfect throw right here from Brandon Ramon.
Ramon drops back to pass. Screen pass is knocked down.
And pass was batted down by
trying to get it to Ransbaugh, but defense read that one well, as they've seen them do that several times. So it's going to be fourth down and long. And the Aggies are going to have to punt. Hope they can pin them deep, hold them, get good field position, and have another chance, because they're going to run out of chances here with 10:20 left to play. It may only be one more possession.
Yeah, let's see
or
if
possibly two.
Let's see if Villarreal can pin them back deep so this defense has a little bit of room to work with.
There's the kick, high. That one goes out of bounds. The deep man ran over here to the Aggie sideline where the ball was going to the Hastings sideline. Looks like it's at about the 20-yard line, and that's where Hastings will take over. 10-13 on the clock. They lead by 2.
Ball is going to be placed at the 20. And a big thanks goes out to Anchor D Bank, of course, a great supporter and sponsor of all of our athletics and lots of things here at Oklahoma Panhandle State. So thanks to Anchor D Bank.
Very important series here for the defense.
Yeah, the secondary is going to have to come up big because they're going to throw a little bit of short passes, but they got to keep that running back from getting those extra yards.
And another flag on the field. Get up to the 25-yard line. We'll see what this call is.
Couple
It's a
yards
hold.
on the play. Flag thrown.
Personal foul face mask. And that's going to give Hastings an extra 15 yards.
More mistakes that the Aggies cannot have when
Ball up.
trailing back late in the game.
Ball up to the 39-yard line. We got twins to the wide, one to the short side. Single backfield out of the pistol. They'll run it wide up to the 40, the 45. And he's going to be wrangled down near the
Nice
midfield
precision
stripe.
right there to make the tackle for Charles.
That'll be Daquan Charles on the tackle. But it looks like that's going to be probably enough for a first down.
Yeah, another great run right there by Willingham.
If it's not, it's going to be second and short. And they'll say it is a 1st and 10. So what turned into the Aggies hoping to pin them deep. The punt didn't pin them very deep. And penalty and a couple of
First down for the Broncos.
positive offensive plays has got them up to the midfield stripe already. And in motion across the formation. Hand off to the tailback. He's going to be brought down there at the line of scrimmage. Nice job
And good job right
on
there.
the line by Horace Lewis, a freshman defensive lineman, 6'1",
There's a
290
contact made
pounds.
by number
It's a big
66,
boy getting the
Horace
backfield
Lewis.
quickly, trying to disrupt that play, only letting a yard because Willingham's been running all over this defense this half.
About a yard gain on the play, brings second down.
Yeah, turn the hand tailback, and the Aggies back in that backfield. And who else but the Darian Primes again. The first one back there to make that play.
Yeah, Prime's unguarded right there, gets to the backfield immediately, forces Willingham to cut back, and is met by a couple other Aggies. It's that speed and that quickness off the line.
So 3rd down and 11. So a huge down with just under 8 minutes left in this one. Aggies trailing by 2. Running back out of the backfield. Lets one go on that slant, wide open, first down, 35-yard line. He's finally brought down. And how many times have they run that play successfully today?
Way too many for me to count, way too many for me to like.
First down.
Wide open, and that's a big body. Calvin Lincook, a senior, 6'5", 215, running across the middle. I don't see how they could have missed him.
Hastings back at the line. Hand off to the running back, running to the wide side. The 30 jumps over to the defense all the way to the 20. We do have a flag on the play. I think this one may be coming back.
Young and Luthed in on the stop right there. Flag on the play.
I couldn't quite see what happened, but it might have been a block in the back right there by number 5.
Well, if it's against Hastings, where it ended up, I'm sure it will be a chop block, personal foul. That's going to move it back 15, so that's exactly what the Aggies needed there.
Yeah, another great caught for the Aggies, and let's see if they can do something with it.
So, ball brought all the way back to the 39-yard line. So it'll be first down and about 14 yards to go for the Broncos. Drops back to pass. It's that same pattern, but able to hold on to that one, bobbled it, went to his feet, but he somehow was able to hold on to that even after he was hit.
He was able to hold on to that to make the reception.
Kind of fell to the ground and kept it on his ankles, really.
Yeah, big body Lincook
So
missed it, literally went through his hands, hit him in the chest before the ground, just pinned it between his ankles like you
Second
said.
and 6 at the 31.
And just slowly fell to the ground. I don't understand how he held on to that ball.
So ball at the 31-yard line, second down, 6 yards to go. Twins to the wide, one to the short side. Running back steps out to the wide side. Quarterback under pressure, lets it go towards the end zone. Off the hands of an Aggie defender.
So incomplete. That will bring up a third
And it was
down
Charles
for
out
the
there on
Broncos.
defense.
Yeah, Gardner got him on the run along with Leithhead. Forced Livingston out of the pocket, trying to make a throw. A miraculous throw, but could not connect. Great job with the defensive backs to stay with their man.
Let's make some noise, Aggie fans. Let them know we're here. Come
6:02
on.
left to play. Third and 6 from the Aggie 31-yard line. This is a big play for the Aggie defense. They've been on the field a lot tonight. Can they hold up here? Pass over the middle. It's caught. First down at the Aggies' 15-yard line. We've got a flag on the field. This may be a
Flag
targeting
on the
call.
play. There is a player down on the field as well.
That flag came in late after the play was
Looked like
over.
everybody's
Didn't
up,
look
but
like
there
there
is
was
a
any
flag on the play.
extracurricular activities, so most likely they're gonna discuss whether that was a targeting call.
Yeah, I think that might have been Fights. Fights coming across the middle. Or Daquan Charles. They kind of sandwiched him in.
Personal foul, targeting call. That's going to be half the distance. And Daquan Charles is going to be done for the day. So it's going to be first and goal as well.
Yeah,
And
Jordan,
lightning strike off in the distance as we try to get this one finished off. Ball at the 7-yard line, first and 10. Aggies in desperate need of a stop here. Running back to the short side, knocked out of bounds near the 5-yard line.
Runner out of bounds. So to bring up second down for the Broncos.
yeah, Benjamin George got him over there on the sideline. With 4 to go for the touchdown, we have to have a big defensive stand right here.
The ball all the way up at the 3 or 4 yard line.
They need to keep it a one-possession game. That's what they'll try to do now.
And off to the running back to the wide side. Can't go inside.
Nice
No
job
gain on the
stop
play.
right there.
Brought down at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, Leithhead again getting into the backfield, tackling the feet of Willingham, couldn't let him escape.
It will bring up another third down.
And now a flag on the field.
And a late
And it looks
flag
like
on the
one of the
play.
Aggies just losing his mind over there. You can't do those things. That's the Simba Young, maybe, was the one over by the referee. My mistake, that was not Lasimba Young, that was Chiroy Joseph, and he's heading off the field now as Chris Lewis comes in his spot.
With the penalties, it will give the Broncos a first down.
So it's back to first down. Ball marked at about the 6-yard line now. Clock continues to roll. Maybe the worst thing that could have happened there, other than a touchdown, was giving them another first down to run more clock, make the Aggies defense be on the field that many more plays. Option to the short side. Quarterback keeps it inside the 5. He's brought down at the 4-yard line, just inside of it.
And a keeper right there. Comes inside.
And another injured Aggie on the field.
Second down.
That's DeLeon Williams.
How about
He's able to get up.
Yeah, it looked like Caleb Gutierrez came in and got the tackle right there. Another great play. Trying to hold this Bronco offense just 3 yards away, 4 yards away.
Come on, Aggie fans, let's make some noise.
Second down and goal to go from the 4-yard line. And motion across the formation. Option to the wide side. Quarterback keeps it. He's going to find a seam into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, now it's an 8-point game, so this extra point becomes very important. If Hastings can get it through, that's going to make it a 2-score game no matter what. The Aggies can somehow find a way to block it, which they've already blocked one today. They can find a way, and it's still the possibility of a 1-score game. There's a snap, the hold, and the kick is good.
And the point after is good, so that will bring
Hastings
the score
takes a
16 left in
17 lead with 4:16 left to go.
Have a score of 26-17.
So Kevin Carter and Miguel Hudson back deep for the Aggies once again. Aggies needing a big play here, down by 9 now. Line drive kick. Picked up at the 20, bobbled a little bit. Up to the 30 and brought down at the 35-yard line. That's Carter. The Aggie offense that has struggled for the majority of this game, they're going to have to find a little magic here.
Ball was picked up by number 19.
Yeah, we want to see.
Carter.
They got to move the ball. They got to move it quickly. They're down 2 possessions. So short passes out, trying to get out of bounds. Trying to get first downs, of course. But a quick score right now for the Aggies would be absolutely crucial.
Shotgun formation, 2 splits to the wide side, 1 to the short. Handoff inside, trying to break it outside. Flag on the field again. As Stevens falls forward to about the 38. That's in the area of holding, though. And once again, it is holding against the Aggies. So it's going to be first down and 20.
Yeah, they're not getting much of anything done on the ground. Is Panhandle State, but they're going to have to try the air attack with 4 minutes left to go.
Of course, with 4 new starters on that offensive line, as Coach Gaskamp had mentioned, their defensive line for Hastings is their most experienced and probably their best unit on the whole team. So it's strength against weakness, and or at least inexperience at the very best.
Yeah, and it's going to take a couple games for this offensive line and to find their stride and to make sure that they can work together in a game situation, because in practice it's one thing, but when you get out under those lights, it is a whole other beast.
Referees getting situations straightened out. Aggies will re-huddle. First down and 20 to go from their own 25-yard line. Down 9 with 4:04 left to play. Ramon drops back to pass. Steps up, lets one go over the middle. Barbarino hit him right in the chest, and he dropped it. That would have been up at the 48-yard line. And you gotta catch those that are hitting you in the hands.
That's slightly underthrown, but nonetheless, he was wide open, hit him square in the chest, and could not hang on.
And he was wide open on that one. So second down and 20.
Yeah, Ramon did a great job of stepping up in the pocket and delivering a bullet across the middle. That would have been a first down, and you got to be perfect on the drives when you're trying to come back in the game like this.
And what's unusual about that is Barbarino, as a freshman last year, was just so sure-handed. Tried to get it to Dominguez underneath. Bounced right off of his numbers as well. That one may be a little, coming in a little hard for a 5-yard pass. That may have been wide.
A case of trying to get the ball, trying to turn up field without the ball. Got to catch the ball first, can't go anywhere without it.
So third down and 20 now, the situation. 3:49 left to play. The chances for the Aggies slipping away. The lead's passing down if they don't move the ball. Ramon drops back to pass again, steps through the defense, and ball in the ground. Tried to get it to Barrett, but that one skipped probably 4 or 5 yards in front of him. So it's going to be 4th and 20. They're going to have to punt.
Yeah, the pressure fared too much for him as he tried to step up in the pocket, but pocket collapsing, not giving him any time to check through his receivers and go through his progressions. Has to make a bad throw, trying to squeeze it in, and just could not get it to him. On a triple covered receiver.
So Eduardo Villarreal back to punt again. He's been way too busy this evening. There's a snap and the kick, and it's partially blocked. That one's going to go out of bounds in Aggie territory at the 42. So 3:38 left to play. Hastings takes over 1st and 10 in Aggie territory.
Ball will be placed about the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Just over 3.5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter.
Pistol formation, and in motion to the wide side, handoff right up the middle. Bounces outside as he's not brought down. On up to the 35-yard line before he's tackled.
Right there by
6-7 yard gain on the play, so it'll be second down.
On the play.
Now they'll move it back to the 35, so 6-yard gain.
Yeah, Willingham looked like he was stopped in the backfield, or at least to the line of scrimmage, and just bounced it outside, and got a 6-yard gain. Smart play right there by a senior for the Broncos.
Pistol formation again. They'll hand it off to the running back. Penetration, fights his way forward for maybe a yard.
And makes a stop for the Aggies. That'll bring up another 3rd down.
Yeah, good play by the Aggies right there, but
no gain on the play. 2.5 minutes left to play. 3rd down 4, so this is kind of last chance gasp here. It's either stop them on this 3rd down play, or they just run out the rest of the clock.
All right, Aggie fans, so let's make some noise. Let's get a stop. Come on, let's hear it.
Snap, handoff, trying to run to the wide side. He's through the gap to the 20-yard line, and it's a 1st and 10 for Hastings inside the 20-yard line with 2 minutes left to play. And that's going to pretty much be the ball game.
Goes up to the play as a 1st down for the Broncos.
yeah, just a great play right there by Willingham, trying to bounce it around, finds the hole, gets a big game, and that's just been the story all night long for the Broncos. Their two running backs, Willingham and Naismith, just running all over the field right now.
Quarterback will keep it this time, falls forward just inside the 20, back about to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, looked like a broken play right there. Try to get something. Livingston just falls forward, gains a yard
About a
right
yard
there.
on the play, brings up second down.
So second down, 9 yards to go. Clock nearing the 1 minute mark. And off to the tailback, cuts inside, down to the 10-yard line. He'll be near the first down.
And the tailback carries it, cuts inside, makes it up to just
It'll be
shy of the
third
first
down and
down.
about a yard to go. They'll have to run one more play as there's a couple of seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock. Make sure you stick around as I'll meet Coach Gass out on the field. And we'll talk to him, ask him a few questions.
Formation down the ball.
And in the final seconds
As
will
the
tick
clock
off, and
is
Hastings has
ticking
defeated
out.
the Panhandle State Aggies 26 to
And that looks
17.
like it'll do it.
Aggies will
As
start the season
end of
0-1.
game.
Try to turn things around in the next
Hastings
game.
College Broncos
As I said,
26,
stick around.
OPSU
We'll talk with
Aggies
Coach Gass in a little
17.
bit.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for sticking around tonight and
Appreciate
breaking
you,
the weather and coming back and supporting the Aggie football. Big thanks goes out to, of course, Anchor D, our great stadium sponsor. We'd also like to say a big thanks goes out to PTCI. They have been doing our broadcast and video work for us at the game here for tonight. We thank you for being here. Again, we thank you for coming to us and be on the road next week. So we went down to Canyon, Texas. Let's try to party down there. And again, we thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, Coach. Just your thoughts on your team's play tonight and just the game? as a
Well,
whole.
obviously there was a lot of adverse, situation going on tonight with the 3-hour rain delay and all that. It's gonna be a good learning game for our team. Anytime you play your first game, you're never gonna be as sharp as you'd hoped. Any way you cut it, you cannot have the penalties that we had tonight. The penalties absolutely killed us. Starting with the interception return for a touchdown block in the back. We just did some really silly things that hurt us the entire night. Obviously, we got to clean some things offensively. We had a lot of drops in that game. We had chances to keep drives alive. We had some holding and some chop calls in the offensive line, and just overall the penalties just in general didn't give us much of a chance to win. And so we got to be better. Our coaching staff's got to be better. We got to play more disciplined and get ready for a good game next week.
Well, and you mentioned coming into this one, their defensive line was really one of their strengths. You got 4 new starters on that line, and that seemed to be an issue. Of course, anytime that your line, is facing a good defensive line like that, it's going to throw off your timing, throw off your execution. Was that part of that too?
And absolutely. I mean, we really, in what you would call the second half, kind of a weird game, but we never could get a rhythm going. But I thought so much more of it had to do with the penalties than it did than the actual, just plays. You say, well, did their defense play great? I thought they played okay. We just did a lot of things to really hurt us, and every single time we started getting any type of flow offensively, then we'd have some silly penalty, a holding call, or a shot block, or a drop pass, and so just overall execution was poor, and we've got to do a better job, and that starts with me, and I got to get those guys ready and prepared for the rest of the season.
Well, and then on the defensive side too, a few of those emotional penalties were costly at times too. Of course, you want your guys to play with great emotion. That was what helped them to make some goal line stands. But then it also cost them when the other team got a first down after a personal foul, and those things you got to avoid.
We've got to act like we've been here before, and there's a difference between playing with great emotion and then being smart. And we just did some things tonight that were not smart. It ended up hurting the team. One kid's personal decision affects 120 guys on the sideline and all the people in the stands, and they've got to understand that there's responsibility when they make decisions like that. And so, again, it's something we're going to address. I'm never going to try to hold them back from playing hard, and we just made a couple of silly things happen. A player here, two here, and that's a different game. But, we have a chance to take the lead there, late in the fourth quarter, and we just had the series of a couple plays down here on this end of the penalties, and just didn't give us a chance. And so I don't know what the overall penalty numbers were, but it's just way too much for us to be able to go. We're not a good enough team yet to be able to get through those type of things and win ball games. So,
well, we've talked about a lot of negatives.
yeah.
What happened tonight that you're positive
Well,
about?
the positive, number one, I thought our special teams played really well. I mean, anytime you go into your first game, you worry about how your special team is going to play, and I thought we played well in the special teams. And to be honest with you, part of it is I'm glad that we got the first game over. This is such a young team. We have so many newcomers, and to be able to go out there, we'll be able to make judgments on film of what we saw and how we think we can get better, and some personnel stuff. We got really banged up in that game in general. We were down to almost no safeties with any playing experience at all, and the defensive backs, we were kind of struggling there a little bit, and so with some checks and some things of trading off some of the things they were doing, and some fits from the secondary. But I mean, we're a young team. It's going to take us a little bit of time. The main thing, the most important thing, is that when we get to conference in week 3, hopefully we've worked out some of these kinks and we can be a much better football team.
Well, Coach, another positive was even though the game took 6 hours, could you believe how many people were here?
First of all, just before the rains all started and the lightning started, our crowd was the best I've ever seen. It's the best crowd I've ever seen here. People are very excited about the new stadium and stuff like that. They were great. I want to say thank you to everyone that stuck it out. I mean, that 3-hour rain delay was really, really tough. And like I said, I'm glad we got the game in. I'm glad we got the experience. Obviously, we don't like the loss, but it's a learning opportunity for us, and we can get better off of it.
Well, straight into conference play now, right?
Well, we play WT next week down in Canyon, and we're excited about that game. It's somebody that's close to us, somebody that we have some history with. So we're excited about playing that game, and then we'll go into conference in week 3, and we got to be a better football team by that point. I mean, deep down inside, by the time it's all said and done, our number one goal is we got to win the conference, and that will start in week 3 over in Arizona. And we're going to learn a lot about our football team, how we bounce back from this game and how we can improve over the next couple of weeks. You're always so much a better team from week 1 to week 2. We'll make some significant strides and get better.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you meeting with us after the game. Hey, those of you out there that can, make the drive to Amarillo. It's not a very far drive from here, 2 hours, and shoots a lot of your kids from Texas. Their parents are that's the closest game for them, actually, so hopefully they can make it too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be a better football team than what we end up playing tonight. I firmly believe that, and we're, again, great support from the crowd, and we'll continue to get better.
All right, good night from Anchor D Stadium in no man's land.